Hey everybody. Man, I think there's 4 people already in here.
Dang.
How's everybody doing today?
More choices.
Turn your volume down. How's everybody doing? You doing all right, Rick? Hey, Southern Dirt. Yeah, I had to get glasses so I could try to read my phone better, but I never bring them out here.
Yeah.
Hey, Rocky Run. Share the camera with you some.
Yeah, don't break it.
Steve Mack, Mallard 5, SLC, Walsh Farms. Well, guys, we got a guest here with us. If y'all don't know him, y'all surely need to get to know him and check him out. This is Mr. Tony.
Yeah. Carolina Tony.
Carolina Tony.
Ooh, excuse me.
He has a channel and he's not a farmer though, y'all. I can't get him into farming.
Used to be. When I was a teenager. I've handled more breasts than most people my age ever hoped to.
Hey, Gordon.
I milk cows.
Getting rain here
Yes.
this afternoon.
Yeah, Steve Mack. Hey there. And Rocky Run Angus Ranch. Well, let me guess what you do.
He's an Angus man.
The pig farmer.
Pig.
Steaks on the hoof.
Plugging away in the shop.
It's something y'all can't tell it, but it's cold as a well digger's hiney out here.
So see,
Oh,
he's actually in here, and when I tell y'all it's cold, he can vouch for it now.
it's cold. Now I work outside, but I'm prepared for it. I wasn't prepared for this. I thought I was going into a nice, cushy barn.
No,
Cushy.
See, that's what I tell all y'all. What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, give me 1 second. I'll try to make it a little better for you this time.
That's right. I do have a different kind of hog.
I'm gonna set this right under there. It might help me too. 'Cause I'm cold too. Hope my wife ain't watching this and seeing me catering to another man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my hog's 103 cubic inches.
103 cubic.
Yeah.
Watch it trip breaking and throw the Wi-Fi off.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything? Yeah, Tony assumed we had a nice studio.
I mean, I knew it was a barn, but I've got a heated barn.
I should have went to your house and done it live. Yeah, next time I'll go to your place and you can do it live and I'll be on yours.
Yeah.
In the heat, in the... Mr. Steve had a 03 Super Glide when he rode.
Cool.
Yeah, Southern Dirt, it's raining. If you hurry up and turn into snow, we'll get to ride the snowmobile.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to get to see Tony on the snowmobile.
I don't think so. I went snow skiing once. Back when my son was a teenager. He's 40 years old now, so you can tell it's been a long time ago. But I was an assistant scoutmaster. And I took a bunch of boys up to Boone, North Carolina and went snow skiing.
Right.
And I'm the kind of person, nobody's going to outdo me. And nobody's going to tell me what I can't do. Because if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it.
Or buzz.
And I can tell you this. I come from the top of that mountain, down about a quarter of the way, I was doing good. And then the rest of the way, I come down head over heels. Had snow all down my pants.
I've never tried. Up in the mountains, we've tried ice skating a time or two,
Yeah.
and my ankles ain't strong enough.
I can handle ice skating, but that snow skiing, they make it look a whole lot easier on TV.
A lot of stuff looks easier on TV.
Yeah. And something too, the older you get, the more it hurts when you hit the ground. And that's what I do. I push myself till I break.
I used to, but I've learned now that I'll settle for second sometime.
One of my granddaughters is 7 years old, and I think she was probably about 6, and she had some kind of little gymnastics thing, and kids were out there turning somersaults, and she had a hard time, and I said, Lake, can you turn a somersault? She said, yeah. She got down there, kind of halfway did it, and I said, Papa can too. And my daughter said, you can't turn no somersault. I said, don't tell me what I can't do. I got down there and I turned a somersault. And I said, tell you what else too, I stand on my head. And I got over there and I stood on my head. And I didn't tell them the next morning I hurt like crazy.
All right. Skiing ruins a lot of knees.
Oh yeah.
I could imagine. Like I said, we've never tried. I got buddies that go up West Virginia somewhere.
Yeah.
They've actually got cabins up there. They'll
Really?
go and
Well, for those of you that don't know, I'm an air conditioning contractor. And for the last 45 years, I've been crawling on my hands and knees, and that's something to do your knees in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Steve used to water ski. That's right. I totally forgot that you done heating and air. We is there I don't zoot my brain. If you want to slide back,
No, I just like enjoy it. It's like you go back, it's like, whoa, I'm good.
You can't strap 2 boards on your feet.
And hurl yourself down the hill, better off tucking and rolling.
There's the new sign, y'all, back behind us. It's a little far off, but that's the one that, hold on, Ricky Locklear sent us. Hey, Farmall. We got Carolina Tony here with us tonight, y'all. You always scared you missing something. Sign looks awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't mounted it good. I just got it stuck up there. It's been crazy this week. We're trying to get stuff done, and we actually put a ad out to sell hay, and it's really surprised me the amount of hay that we've moved in 2 days.
Michigan hay sales says, hey Tony, hey Michigan hay sales.
Hey, Junkyard.
Now that's in Michigan.
No, he's in Georgia.
Okay.
No.
Because I was thinking, hey, probably not doing too good in Michigan right now.
Hey, Scott. Yes, sir. It's raining pretty decent out there now. It blew your mind you was on the sign? Yes, sir. He's got a bunch of y'all. And there's room around it that we can add more. My wife's got a machine that she can add some on there, add some of y'all's names on the sign also. Sign says long-haired freaky people need not apply. That was Farmall.
No.
Is it raining up your way now, Scott? And did y'all finish getting the soybeans cut? They actually got the ones cut right here beside my house yesterday. Mr. Steve says, smash that thumbs up, guys and gals. Yeah, y'all smash it for us and share it out if you know how to share it out. I'm asking y'all to do stuff I don't even know how to do.
I know I'm looking down here with my head bent down. I said, good gracious alive. To hold my finger out here.
The sign could double as a wanted poster. Hey, a patch of heaven. Appreciate all y'all stopping in and chatting with us. I used to have I'd bring my iPad out.
Yeah.
So I could read them better.
Uh-huh.
But then I would notice looking up there that I would always be looking down.
Yeah.
So now I just suffer.
Well, Lonnie with blind views,
Yeah.
you know, he can see like right straight in front of him. So, but he's officially legally blind, but he's got a huge monitor
Right.
so he can see the chat.
Hey, AJ. But we don't do things politically.
No, this is one of the things that's bad. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but the older you get, the worse it gets.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, no, I fussed with my wife for 2 months before I would go to the eye doctor. I was leaning on that it was eye damage from when that battery exploded in my face. She said, no, it's age.
Yeah.
And then she carries me to her doctor, which is another female. And then she says it's age.
Yeah.
So I had to get readers.
I've got glasses on the back of the toilet. I've got glasses where I sit at the eating table, next to my bed, in the living room, in my truck, in my Jeep, in my wife's car, out in my shop, and on my motorcycle. Because I don't like to have to carry them around.
I think I might have did get a pair. I think I did pick a pair up to go out here. I did. I don't know if they're gonna work. The first one of y'all laugh at me, I'm blocking you.
Think about it though, with those with readers you had to get like close.
Right. And I think I'm too far from that to read it. If I wore my glasses. You got a bigger TV.
Yeah.
No, I'm too far off. That makes it worse.
I wanted to get a 72-inch TV to go in my bedroom, and my wife wanted, why in the world you need such that big? I said, so I can see it better.
Got to go help soybean farmer put the truck cover on.
Yep.
Appreciate you coming in, Scott. Y'all have a good one, buddy. You're at the point you're using the low. Yeah, these is, I can't even read what number they are.
I got 250s.
These is 1.0s.
Oh, shoot.
And I'm too far away from it. It makes it blurry if I try to use
Oh,
it.
I know. Hey, you know what? That heat's kicking in now. You stand up here huddling around. And you know what? You get close to the screen, I see better.
Yeah, it's putting out.
The chat keeps going away.
Yeah, well, see, that's my problem on here. It does go away. And that's why I'm in the habit of reaching up and refreshing it and making sure. Because I've had people ask before, why do I keep reaching to the phone?
You don't have a tablet?
I got an iPad.
Yeah. That wouldn't do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, it might. I don't know what I'd prop it up on.
Oh, okay.
Need a wood heater. Yeah, I sure do. I think Brian told me a couple weeks ago at SLC Farms that he had a wood heater that we could go get to put in here because it won't make no noise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got a propane heater and a jet heater, but I told
Tell
Tony,
you what, you come to Gerrald, I'll give you one.
you got a wood heater too?
I do. It's a black bark, and it's got a fan on it. So if you want, you ain't got to use the fan, but it's got a fan behind it, and I've even got a cold grate in it.
Okay.
Because you can heat like a Bama Jammer with cold.
Okay. And it won't have no trouble keeping us warm in here.
Come get it. It's in my shop, and I've been thinking for years what I'm gonna do with it. So hey,
Well, I'll come up there and Merry Christmas to you too, Scott. You'll be lost without yours. No, I don't.
a custom-made wood burner that burns railroad ties.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd hate to have to be in charge of having to get them together, get the railroad ties together. My son thought his last name was Get Wood. His first name was Get Wood till he was 10. 'Cause that's what. I've been in the heat and air conditioning business my whole life, but I used to heat with wood, and that's all we did all fall long. And my son, I'd haul him out there. We go getting wood. Somebody say, "Hey, we got a tree down in the yard. We come get it." Fixing to buy a used oil heater. I don't have any use for oil.
You don't have any use for
I
oil?
don't have any use for oil. I've worked on oil furnaces for many years, and they're the most aggravating thing. Can't even buy parts for them anymore.
AJ used a skid loader to load the railroad ties in.
Oh, you might have to.
Hey, Gosselin Farms.
Now, where's Gosselin Farms at?
But there's so many other different guys I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Where are you from, Ed? Mr. Tony asked. I don't know. There's so many, and I'm not good with names. We're buying the times by the semi-load.
Wow.
Do you have any trouble with burning them, with like the creosote and stuff on them burning off? Does that stop up, like your flues or something? Hillsboro, Oregon. That's where Gerraldfarms is from.
Okay. Yeah, those 55-gallon oil drums, that's a little different than an oil furnace.
Right.
Because that just actually burns oil.
Okay. And the furnace you talking about, it's got
Yeah,
the
the oil
injectors
furnace
and all
has got the
pumps.
electrodes and and they're like a French race car. They've got to be tuned just perfect in order to work.
I remember when I was young, my dad had one, and you had to bleed it and mash a bleed valve, and it would and pump out. And
Oh yeah, they're aggravating.
I remember him steady working on it when I was real young. It blew hot heat though when it was running.
Gerraldfarms, Hillsboro, Oregon. Wow. I bet it is cold in Oregon. Is there snow on the ground in Oregon yet? So they said it was battle, but they got where it burned so hot it doesn't clog up anymore.
Hey, Walker Dairy Farms.
Walker Dairy Farm. That's what I used to do. When I was a teenager, I milked cows for 4 years.
Yeah, oil stoves with a carburetor. There's a guy, I think, that does auto body work not too far from here, and he's got something made where he puts like burnt motor oil out of your cars
Yeah.
and stuff, and then it drips into a furnace type deal. It looks real simple, just like you adjust the ball valve.
Yeah.
It's just dripping in there burning.
Well, I imagine it would burn. It's a fuel that will burn if you got air.
Brian had a viewer on his line, all the way from Belgium.
Wow.
Yeah, I missed Brian's live. SLC Farms had a live yesterday in a parade in his, I think, like his hometown, and I missed it.
The parade reminds me of something. I was so disappointed that this year is the first year in 22 years that they canceled the Redneck Christmas Parade in Boykin, South Carolina. And you probably never heard of it, have you?
No.
Yeah, the Boykin Redneck Christmas Parade. Now, Boykin is a place here in South Carolina near Camden, not too far from Columbia, where the Boykin Spaniel was bred. So the Boykin Spaniel hunting dog,
Right.
that's where they were bred. That's first.
Okay.
But it's way out in the country, and there's just an old country store there, a grist mill, some type of mill. I don't know if it's a grist mill or something like a grist mill.
Hey,
And-
Rocky Run.
And a little restaurant. And every year they would have a Christmas. When I say redneck Christmas parade, I'm talking real. As they had a float, they had bird dogs on it, and then every so often you would see pheasants and quail fly out of this box, and they would shoot at it. And the duck and the bird and the dogs, they wouldn't let them go. They'd point at them. And then there was like Miss Redneck, Miss Boykin was always a guy, but it was dressed up like a woman with a big old beard, ugliest woman you ever seen.
Hey, IH100.
But I think they had 20,000 people to that thing, and they would bus them. You parked in a field a couple miles away, and they had shuttles running people back in, and people would set up tents and tailgate, get there a whole day ahead of time. And they said it had grown so big they couldn't handle it, so they took this year off so they could plan for next year.
Try to plan for
But
that.
it ain't like most Christmas parades. It is unreal.
If y'all guys and gals are just coming in, shoot us a thumbs up if you would. Hey, Mark's Motorsports and Farming. Hey, Rowdy. BTO. We're doing good here, buddy. It's getting pretty cool out.
That's a cool name there, Rowdy Yates. I remember Roddy Yates, also known as Clint Eastwood, in Rawhide. You don't remember that?
No.
Oh yeah, man. Rawhide used to be the show to watch. That's where Clint Eastwood got started. He was Roddy Yates.
Hey, Nathan. Hey, Farming for Fun and Profit. You doing all right, Mr. David?
Said he judged dairy cattle at Boykin in the FFA in 1964. Yeah, so you can attest. I will promise you, if you hadn't been there, Boykin hadn't changed a bit. The junkyard, he's on the right on the coast in the lower part of South Carolina, and we fuss if the temperature drops below 40.
Yeah. Yeah, he's down next, close to Georgia.
Yeah, somewhere near Beaufort. Or
I think so.
Yeah, Beaufort, somewhere in there.
Yep.
Said it must be 60.
60, no, it's
No.
cooler than 60. About 43.
Yeah.
It's about 43 in the shop here.
Over there it's 43. But right here it's a little colder. Said he's 20 minutes from Beaufort.
We're doing good, Nathan. Hope you have a Merry Christmas too, buddy. Hey, Mike Smith. That parade sounds like fun.
Oh, it is. It is.
Hey, Mr. Ben. Appreciate you dropping in, buddy. Is the chicken farm still there in that town you talking about?
In Boykin?
I think so.
I don't remember seeing one. He was right in the middle of town. There's just a few stores, an old feed mill, or flour. It's some type of grist mill. And I've done a lot of filming around grist mills. I don't know. My wife said, "Do your viewers like grist mills?" And I said, "I don't know if they do or not, but I do." So I'll go and film them. But I love a good grist mill. I love all that old stuff.
Right.
Like the way they used to make food and stuff 100 years ago.
Mr. Carolina Tony here, y'all. He has lots of videos on older stuff like a bunch of y'all would probably like. You know, with the grits mills and some abandoned factories I've seen.
Yeah, done a lot of that. Look, that's another thing I like. I like to think about how things looked 75 years ago with old mill villages. I've been a lot of old mill villages.
Right.
And some of the old mills.
Yeah.
Not that I try to find abandoned places, but I'll run across them. I tell a lot of folks there's not everything on my channel is for everybody, but there's something for everybody.
Right. Very
And
true.
why I'm saying that is I even did a American Doll Museum in Chicago, Illinois. I just happened to be there with my wife. She was on business, and we went in there to get something for my granddaughter. I said, "Hey, ding, opportunity." And I
Right.
said, "How many bikers has ever done that?"
Yeah, no, you're probably the first biker to go there. Hey, Smith Family Ranch. And just in case, like any of y'all that's in here watching, if you want to be a guest on the live, we are also experimenting with the doing it where I do it through my computer and I can bring them in through StreamYard. So if y'all would just send us an email at gerraldfarms@gmail.com and we can try to line it up in advance for any of y'all that want to be on. We'd love to have y'all as a guest. You don't have to come here and sit in my cold shop. You can sit at home in your house.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you that though. I let you come.
I did a live stream with Mitch Ganderman, and he's in Michigan.
Right.
And we didn't start at 10:30. No, 10. We were on till 11:30, and I'd never done that before. But it was it was interesting because there was all kind of feedback. And when I would talk, I'd hear myself talk, and then like 30 seconds later, I'd hear it all over again.
Right, yeah. If your volume was turned
No,
up right
I
there,
had it all turned
Oh.
off. And when it comes to technology, I'm totally lost.
Mr. David said, hell, he can't remember what things looked like 75 years ago. D. Haven, you'll be a guest. Yeah, I'm anxious to have you back too, D. Haven. You'll do it when you get your shop going. Nathan T, thank you, buddy. Sure do appreciate the $2 super chat, buddy.
That's something I never got.
Super chat.
I qualify for it, but I've never done it. Of course, I've only did the live stream a handful of times. I'm still feeling my way around in the YouTube world.
Me too.
However, I'm thinking about opening toys.
Opening toys.
Yeah, the little 8-year-old kids making $2 million a year opening toys.
Yeah, I believe you might be getting on that bandwagon too late though, with the new rules, I think.
Yeah.
Because I had planned on having a person to come in a Santa Claus suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was gonna push it out all week
Uh-huh.
so people could have their kids to come in.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it just because of that new copper rule.
Uh-huh.
Because I didn't want to get myself in no kind of trouble. There's a day. There's still a lot of stuff, y'all, that I don't know. I still do 99% of everything on my phone because that's what I learned to do it on.
Yeah.
I've got that Apple computer behind me, and I barely can turn it on.
Really?
I can barely get on there and look at analytics or something. But as far as editing on it, I don't even know how to get my footage from my iPhone to my Apple computer. It's just everything confuses me.
The thing on my Android, I have an SD card. I take the SD card out, put it in the reader, put it in my computer. You're supposed to be able to connect it and do it, but I can't do it.
Right. Now, I did buy like a SD card reader,
Yeah.
so when I use my drone
Yeah.
or my GoPros, I
You
can just
do
put
that.
my SD card in it and it'll take the footage right on my phone.
Ah.
Then I'm able to edit. I do everything, but I use iMovie.
Yeah.
I've tried several, like Filmora and all that.
Well, I have Filmora, and I've been using it since I started my YouTube channel. And last night, I upgraded to Filmora 9. And my son-in-law, they were visiting us this past weekend. So I got him to put it on the computer, and I spent all morning and afternoon trying to figure out how to make it work. So I got to learn all over again.
I'm gonna have to, because I think there's so much more I could be doing, if I would learn to use a computer. But man, it's so simple because it's what I learned on.
Yeah.
People say it's so much harder, but it's what I know. BTO, my guess is Carolina Tony. Mr. Tony, he has a YouTube channel called Carolina Tony, and he lives about a little over an hour away. And today's our first time actually meeting.
Yeah.
But we've talked several times and trying to get together.
Yeah, I'll tell you what my wife said about you. I told her I was coming up here tonight to meet you. Well, where are you meeting him? I said, his house. Well, you awful brave. And I said, I feel like Jackie's family, even though I've never seen him. I mean, let's face it.
I hope I feel like that to a bunch of y'all.
I'm gonna be honest with you. There are some folks that I've seen on YouTube, and they're nice on YouTube, but I kind of think, they not probably who they really portray to be.
Right. But I never want to change. I mean, if no matter what happens, I hope that what I'm putting out for y'all is really me. What you see is what you get.
Yeah. There's this fella that I've watched a handful of times, and he's talking about how all these YouTube creators, they're all actors, they're just putting on. And I'm thinking, man, you're crazy. But who you see on my channel, when you watch my channel, that's the real deal. That's me. I'm just as much a fool on YouTube as I am in real life. And you don't believe me, you can ask my wife. It's like, she says, like living in a cartoon world.
How do you like riding? Mr. Steve said he drove 1,000 miles to meet me. That's unbelievable, Mr. Steve, that you drove that far.
Wow. It is. I rode my motorcycle from my house in Gerrald all the way to Miami, Florida. 12 hours straight just to eat chicken, and turned around and went back home. And people will say, you must be an idiot. Drive 12 hours to eat chicken? Yeah, but it was some good chicken.
Mr. Tony,
True story.
Mr. Tony Walsh said he opened his house to me and Brian. We went to Georgia to the Farm Expo and met him on the way to his house where we was gonna stay at.
Yeah.
I said, it truly amazes me at the people that we meet here on here.
Mm-hmm.
And just to think, if I hadn't have started a YouTube, that I wouldn't have met these people and wouldn't have met you. I mean,
Yeah. You know, and I've met a few YouTubers, and they're like, you know, they're friendly and all, but you kind of feel like there's something guarded there. You know, it's like me. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. You want to know what kind of underwear I wear, I'll probably tell you. But you know, there's some folks who wouldn't talk about stuff like that. But hey, Alexa. I've got 3 of them in my house. And people will say, I would not have an Alexa in my house that they hear what you're saying. Well, by George, you shouldn't be, if you're going to say it, you shouldn't be ashamed of it.
that's right.
You know, if Uncle Sam wants to hear me talking about him, all he's got to do is listen. I'll tell him to his face.
Is the string buffering y'all, or is it your end buffering BTO?
My phone uses power director, more like splices and technically challenged, but I get by. I know a few folks that's all they use, and I've seen some awesome footage done from a phone and edited, and you would never know. I've got a Nikon D5200. I bought it at the pawn shop, and it does some beautiful stuff. But man, there's more knobs and buttons on that thing, and when you get to dark place, it's just a shot in the dark that I'll get it to perform. And a guy that helps me in my business sometime, he's a professional photographer, as well as doing heat and air. And he, you know, I told him, I said, well, I'm thinking about getting a Canon so-and-so. He says, no, you got a good camera to do what you want to do. You just need to learn how to use it.
Right. And that's why I reckon that's what keeps me on my phone, is because that's what I learned on. And then if I'm trying something new, like I'm trying, there's so many options and buttons to push, and what does this do? And I just get overwhelmed, and all right, I'll do it on my phone.
Just learn how to use what you got. I used to play in a bluegrass band, and I have a Martin guitar that I use, and I mean, it was only like $600, but I've had other people could take that guitar and make it sound like a $3,000 Martin guitar. And I've played one, but I never would buy one. Food forests, permaculture, seasons greeting, Gerraldfarms and friends from Vancouver Island, British Columbia, and Canada. Wow, that's a long ways. And I guarantee you it's cold there. And I'm sitting here at 40 degrees, about to freeze to death. Gerald said he'll be right. What? Gerald's back now.
I'm back, y'all. Had to get a latte. I think that's what my buddy Ted calls them, lattes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bush lattes.
Said they usually, Wells Farms says, Ben, I usually go to my brothers and sisters in Alma, Michigan in July. So I'm serious about COVID. They're talking about...
They're talking about meeting up.
Yeah.
They're talking about having a meetup. And I still really want to have one here too. Yeah, it's raining. Hey, fun on the farm. That's the first time I seen you comment tonight.
There's probably some folks listening right now that missed what I said I wanted to do. Because I milked cows for 4 years, I want to go do a video on dairy farm.
Right.
I want to see how they're doing it nowadays.
Well, that Walker Dairy Farms, his family has a dairy farm. He's a young guy, but he has a few videos. I don't know where they're located, and that's sad because he actually sent me a shirt and stuff. I'm trying to think where he was at.
You know, they say most people that work on dairy farms want to drink milk. I didn't have a problem with it.
You drank it anyway.
Yeah. You want to hear a good story?
Yeah, as long as it's clean.
Well, it's kind of clean.
So, okay.
It's kind of clean. It ain't, but it really is. The man I work for, you know, when cows will come into the barn, when they get ready to go to the bathroom, they raise their tail up.
Right.
And behind the cows, when they're in the stanchion getting milk, there's a trough down there where all their poop goes. And the man that I work for, he was standing up. There was just like a little 4-foot alleyway that the cows walk down. So he was standing up against the block wall like this, watching me milk the cow. And that cow raised her tail, and the cow went, "Whoo!" And it shot out. He had glasses on, and it was all over his face, his shirt, and I'm about to die laughing. So he had to go get a water hose.
I think AJ said most of them using robots. The big farms.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. We had a 10 stanchion barn and milked 5 cows at the time, and we got up to 200 head at one time. And I did it every morning before I went to school, and then come home and do it again. And in the summer, I worked on the hayfield, and we did it not like you with them big bills and them caught in the machine.
Right.
We had to pick those things up and load them on the truck and then stack them up in the barn. And my fingers, they'd be like that.
I'm trying to keep up with them, BTO. If I miss something, y'all put it in again. You grew up on a dairy farm.
Yeah, still don't touch
You drank
milk.
it.
Yeah, a girl I dated, we'd go out to the dairy farm and we go into the milk house where the milk's cold. And I just reached down there and get her a glass of milk. It's a whole lot cheaper.
Right out of the tank.
Whole lot cheaper going to the dairy bar.
Right. A crazy story that I remember my daddy telling me, or a funny thing he told me. He said when he was going out on a date, he had this woman, and she said that she'd always wanted a milk bath. And he said, you know, we might can make that happen. He said, well, you know, said she got in the bathtub and said he asked her, you know, do you want it? Hold on, I done forgot how it goes now. Give me a second to think about it, because I'm trying not to say bad words. Let me think on that for a second. Yeah, I'm trying not to use too many bad words.
Well, Smith Family Ranch said they got a family cow they get their milk from.
Family, my wife's been wanting me to get a milk cow, like to put, so we could try to put calves on.
Yeah.
And we could have it to get us some milk.
Well, I remember we had a few cows on the farm that they were like giant pets. I mean, you could call them by name. Well, you call all. In fact, that would amaze people that those cows, every one of them, they had a number on their hip and a corresponding number up on the chart, and we would have to physically record how much weight.
Right.
And then next to it was how many scoops of food we had to give them. But they all had a name. And when you go out at the edge of the field to call them, you call them by name, and they would come in as you call them, and they'd get in their proper place in the stanchion. I'm thinking,
Wow.
they're smarter than people.
We've got one Jersey cow that's in one of our pens. And when I bought a guy out of cows, it was a Jersey steer, but his eye was tore up. And the guy said that was part of the deal. In order for me to buy out his Angus cows, I had to take that calf.
Yeah.
And we did, and my son doctored it, but now it's just like a big dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you go in the pen to work on the fence or anything, he'll take your phone off of your pocket, take your tools out the golf cart or the truck. We got, I wouldn't mind having one to try, but I think it would be, I don't think I would want to milk it every day. I wouldn't want to have that project added on to haying up every day and stuff.
Yeah, I would. I mean, even though I was in high school, whenever we'd have cows that cows that would have calves and there would be bulls, then I got where I would buy a few and try to raise. And that wasn't when you're doing 2 or 3 or 4 at a time, you can't make any money. It's about what I spend in food is what I'd end up selling them for.
Being we have Angus cows, I don't really call them Angus. I just call them beef cows, because a few of them's white face, a few baldies, but mainly they black. And to me, I think when I see them being sold, I see a lot of cows be sold that's called Angus, that I really don't think's Angus, because what I've been told is an Angus cow can only have white on one udder, and that's it for it to be a true Angus cow. And I see them with white on their face and white on their ears or white on their sides, so I just call mine beef cow.
I love this one. He had a cow that was born during the OJ trials, and she was a bad cow. Always broke the farm to open the barn doors.
Whenever we first started with cows and stuff, my wife and kids would name all of them. And then when it come time to get rid of them, oh, you can't get rid of Fluffy, or you can't get rid of Ed, or so now over a couple years, when they quit naming them all, and they've gotten away from it. Black Baldy.
I couldn't eat nothing that I give a name to.
Yeah, that's and that's what was hard for them, So several times, what we would supposedly do is when my buddy would process a cow, I would buy the meat or trade him a cow for the meat. That's what my wife and them thought.
Hope she ain't watching now. You see, automatically got a stomach ache.
Hey Shane, appreciate you stopping in, buddy. Yeah, no, we enjoy the livestock and dealing with the cows. And right now, if we had more pasture, I would be buying all the cows I could. With the prices of them as low as they are, I would be buying a lot. But pasture land is just so hard for us to come across here. When we don't have enough land, pasture land right now, to continue growing too much. And I'm thinking about the calves that's going to drop this coming year. I don't want to buy cows right now, and then when the calves drop this coming year, then I'm in a predicament where I don't have room for them. But I'm hoping that the market does turn back around.
Yeah, if they do something with the
What's your name,
president,
Tom?
I don't know. I'm just looking.
Oh, okay.
If they do something with the China thing, the president's supposed to sign, probably the price of beef's gonna go up. Because don't we sell a lot of beef to China?
Yeah, I think so. You have 300 head and 2 feedlots. Like, see that comment right here? I'm going to show you then somebody's here to see this. All right, see, I can't see that whole comment. Now look at your phone. I'll be asking.
This is from Shane?
No, from Mark's Motorsports.
Okay, how long?
There's a couple people when they comment, it cuts it off on my screen.
That's it right there. That's what cows like that are usually called
Decals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we call them.
But now if you
That's
turn
something
side, see now I have mine. See mine are bigger
Right.
because that's you got iPhone. I don't know. I have the Samsung 9 Plus, and I have my my font bigger.
Just stop by. All y'all's cows has names, Shane. I think we get about 16, 18 out of a round bale Rocky Run. I actually broke the tractor after I posted that video, Thursday. I rebaled a little. And then Friday, I tried to get back to baling and I got something broke. The PTO on the tractor quit. So there's no telling what that's going to entail that we've tore up. That little heater's doing more than I thought it was going to do.
It does good. Every now and then I feel a brisk blow through here.
I can close that door.
No, we're good. So how many small square bales you get out of a big round one?
Between 16 or 18 is about what we get out of them. Just depends.
Now, what do you do with big ones? How do you store them? You wrap them up in plastic?
No, we keep all of our big ones out. And
So
then,
they don't get wet?
well, they do get wet. But on an average, you'll waste ½ inch or so. Now, later, like the first of the year, January, February, March, when we start feeding, that long they've been sitting out in the weather,
Yeah.
you might have 1.5 inches, 2 inches of waste.
Yeah.
But I don't really waste it because I roll it off. I'll go ahead and bale it up. Then I'll just take them square bales to my cows.
Okay.
Yeah, AJ, you commented on the other day about the rebaling. Yeah, we don't rebale to feed our cows. We do the rebaling because it's so much easier for me to round bale by myself. Where if I square bale, I gotta have help to get them up, and I can only do so many a day. Plus the storage, I can only store probably 3,000 square bales at any given time here without building more room. And if I build more space, then I need to go up, the price of the hay is going to be more to pay for my building. So that's why we rebale, so we can bale it fast in the field and get it semi-protected when it's rolled up. Then we rebale as needed for horse people. Yeah, no, I would never try to rebale to feed my cows.
And we had a machine that hooked the side of a flatbed truck. And you had to have, but you still had to have at least two people. You had one person driving, and that thing would catch the bales and bring it up
On the trailer.
on the truck, next to the side of the truck. But you had to take it, mount it, and then if that person driving was going fast,
You had to work.
you had to work.
Man, we up until this is the first year that we didn't bale any square bales in the field. We built that rebaler, and I would never bale over about 500 bales, 800 max in a day, square bales, because with just me and my son, that's a lot to bale and to get up by ourselves and to stack in the building. But I've done probably 200 or 300 right by myself. Let my truck idle with the door open and me out picking them up, stacking them on the trailer.
Wow.
A poor man has to find a way, Miss Tony.
Got to do what you got to do.
I don't weigh them, Ed. I have no idea. If I had to guess, the squares is probably 50, 55 pounds maybe.
I bet you if you weigh them right now, they would probably be like 10,000 pounds. because it's raining like crazy.
Appreciate you coming in, D. Haven. Have a good week, buddy. I hope all y'all guys have a good, guys and gals, have a good Merry Christmas also.
Oh yeah.
We got a few more minutes before we
See,
get.
mine's spinning around. What does that mean?
I mean, it's buffering.
I'm locked up.
Yeah, that means it's buffering. That ain't good.
Okay. So there's like a delay probably.
Well, there is a delay.
Yeah. So what these people are seeing right now, we actually said a while ago.
Yeah, probably it's gonna be probably 8 or 10 second delay
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the rain gauge. Is it buffering on anybody's end? Because Mr. Tony's phone right here beside me is buffering.
I was telling my wife about meeting
She said to bring her next time. Good deal. Yeah, I'm trying to talk her into going to Georgia next year to the Ag Expo. That's called, you got a Samsung phone.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you got a Samsung. That's what the problem is.
Okay.
You got to get an iPhone, Mr. Tony.
No, I don't think so. You find something that works for you, keep with it.
I tell you what I do not like about mine, because I don't like contracts.
Yeah.
I've always been, I got that from my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the kind of person that tomorrow, if I decide I don't like this phone
Yeah.
or that company, I don't want to give them no more money.
Yeah.
You know, but I've been with Verizon since it was Alltel, it was
Yeah.
360, then
Yeah.
Verizon. I'm not
Right.
going nowhere,
Yeah.
but I don't like the thought of that I've got to be nowhere.
Yeah.
So I buy my phone straight out from Apple,
Right.
but the same phone I got here just say $600.
Mm-hmm.
But it's real small storage. To get this same phone with a bunch of storage will be like $1,000 or $1,100,
Yeah.
and I just don't see, and they don't last me no more than a year with me recording and stuff every day.
Well, this one here, it's a 9 Plus, and I just got it last January, and it was outrageous. And of course, I'm gonna spend the next couple years paying for it. But that's what I had to do to get it where I can handle it. And that's the thing in the business I'm in. It's like you got a mountain of bills comes around every month, and that's just part of being in business.
Right. Merry Christmas to you too, Mike.
Mark's Motorsports and Farming Channel. So this guy, Mark Motorsports, he race?
Yeah, well, yeah, he shows a bunch of snowmobile
Oh.
videos, snowmobile racing,
Uh-huh.
and he shows farming stuff. I watch most of everything y'all guys post, but I don't always get to comment.
Yeah.
Because I'll be in the truck or working or doing something, and I'll post it.
Merry
And
Christmas, Rick.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you and your family too, Rick. Appreciate you coming in, buddy.
A lot of times when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, I put YouTube up on the TV,
Right.
and I watch it while I'm getting dressed or while I'm riding down the road. And I spend a bunch of time in my business riding.
Right.
If I got paid for riding, I'd be rich.
If I ever find me the right cab tractor, and we get a cab tractor,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to be able to do so much more with YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, I mean, it's so hard to hold my phone. I have nowhere to mount it. You know, I've tried mounts, but the magnet mounts and all vibrate so
Yeah.
bad that you can't use the footage.
Yeah.
So you got to hold it. I done a live stream about a month ago for an hour, and I held my phone in my hand for an hour and worked doing the hay. And if we ever find us a cab that we want, maybe we can.
Yeah, not this phone, but the one I had before this, which now the guy that works for me's got, because I give it to him. But I'm trying to film while I'm on my motorcycle. And I've got a mount on the handlebars that you plug it in like this. And I'm riding that motorcycle and that thing flips off while you're going about 55 down the road and bounces for 100 yards. You think, holy moly.
Wow, and you found it?
Yeah.
Well,
OtterBox helps too.
Well, didn't you drop it off the chairlift in
Oh, I did.
Gatlinburg?
I did, right next to a bear.
So,
yeah, that was
so
a good
you
one.
climbed up the side of the
Well,
mountain and got
yeah, I
your
was
back.
going to Anakista in Gatlinburg. You've seen that.
Right.
And I mean, it's like this. And I get up to the top, and I was going to collaborate with Yankee in the South. And we got up there, and I wanted to show him a picture of my phone, and I went back there, and I said, holy moly. So I was thinking, did I take it off the motorcycle? So I said, y'all don't mind, because they were eating. I said, I'm going to ride the chairlift back down. It seemed like it was like 30 minutes to ride back down. And then I had to run 2 blocks. It wasn't on a motorcycle. So the whole time riding back up top of the mountain, I'm looking down like this. And I see something that looks like the back of it. But I wasn't sure. Because you have to cross a couple paved roads. And after you cross the second paved road, it went down in a big ravine. And then it starts going back up. And that's where I thought I saw it. And then about maybe 50 yards from that was a black bear. And we got to the top of the mountain and we talked and went around and we did a little filming. And on the way back down, I got Will to start calling my number. And sure enough, where I thought it was, I heard my ringtone. I have Foggy Mountain Breakdown for my ringtone.
Right.
And I heard it. No, good old Mountain Dew. And I heard it. And so we went up there in his Jeep, and he put me out next to the road, and I jumped down. I had to hold on to trees to keep from sliding down the mountain. And I went up there, and somebody said, what if that bear was still there? I said, I had to fight that bear. I mean, it's got my life in it. It's got all my passwords and customers' numbers and all. Man, I'd be lost without my phone.
Appreciate you coming in, Mr. Ben. Hope you have a good Christmas, buddy.
Nice to meet you too. Ben, he's Verser Cattle.
These are cattle.
These
yep.
are cattle.
Yes, sir.
Traveling Hoosier. Merry Christmas to you.
Hey, Traveling Hoosier. Merry Christmas, buddy. Appreciate you dropping in and chatting with us.
Snows, tractor pulls, car races, plus farming activities.
Yeah, he told me that story of you.
Yeah, about the phone.
the phone. I was like, wow.
But you know what? It's like I told my, I've got 2 brothers, they're twins, and they were born when I was 17. And one of them, he's very successful. The other one, he just has all kinds of problems. And I told him, I said, you know, the thing about me compared to you is I learn from my mistakes. I don't keep repeating the same thing. If I did something that fails, I ain't doing it again.
Right.
And it's like, I can promise you, as the Lord is my witness, I never ride up a chairlift with this in my back pocket.
I keep mine on a clip. But now, about 2 Black Fridays ago, I keep mine, I don't know where my clip's at. Mine's got a OtterBox,
Yeah.
and it snaps in that. And we was shopping Black Friday at a Walmart,
Yeah.
and I reached down to get my phone, and it was gone.
Oh no.
And believe it or not, somebody turned it in at the Lost and Found at Walmart. I had to tell them what was on the screensaver before they would give it to me, but I was able to get my phone back.
Oh, I lost mine at the state fair. And you know how panicking that is. You look at the state fair, and it's like 50 million people. Oh boy. But somebody turned it in.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to ease it on, shut it on down. I appreciate you coming in, Mr. Tony,
Thank you.
and
Enjoyed it.
hanging out with us.
Enjoyed getting to meet and talk to y'all.
I appreciate all y'all guys and gals for supporting us here at Gerald Farms. I hope each and every one of y'all have a Merry Christmas We look forward to seeing y'all on the next one
and buy some hay.
and buy some hay. Y'all have a good one.
All right.